Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. We're on the main event of the Adesanya Strickland, and we are talking. And my pick is Adesanya. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer here, guys. Sean Strickland, these press conferences are going to be game changers.
Pretty legendary.
But I don't think like the fight itself is going to be game changing at all. But like,
No. It really does feel kind of like I'm going with Adesanya too. He's minus $650 to make 100, and for good reason.
Yep.
Great reason.
My pick is Adesanya, but I don't think I'm going to put any money on it. Like, even in the props, you have to get really specific to get money, a good price on anything.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Strickland fan, think he's tough enough to actually win some rounds, and but I just don't see that happening.
So, yeah. I think it's one of those things where it depends what Adesanya wants to, because Adesanya can win in many ways, right? He could head kick him. He could throw some elbows in the clinch, and when they're closer a little bit against the cage, he could throw an elbow. He could throw a counterpunch like he did to Pereira. He could wait for Strickland to come in and just wait to counter in the open space.
Sean Strickland is a tough guy.
He's tough.
And he just keeps moving forward.
It's hard to know if Adesanya wins by decision or KO. It's hard to know. Really tough.
I really don't know. It's just Adesanya is the clear-cut winner.
Kind of just you're planning maybe just throw Adesanya on the parlay.
I'm not planning on putting any money on this.
Oh, you don't even want to put him in
because
the parlay?
It's not good enough for me. Because I don't know how he's going to win. I know Adesanya is going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I don't know how he's going to win, and I don't want to like guess at something like this. But like,
maybe just hope that Strickland wins a round, maybe the first round, and then Adesanya becomes minus 300, then maybe put some money on it.
That might be
that's like it's either let Strickland hopefully do good early, because Strickland is a pretty fast starter, and then maybe if Adesanya becomes less than minus 400, just kind of put some money on it, because in 5, if it was 3 rounds, it's like but 5 rounds, it's like, dude, Adesanya will figure out his opponent. I feel like, what do you call it? In this fight, we have 4-inch reach advantage for Adesanya. We have, he is 6'4", so he's got a 3-inch height advantage over Strickland. Strickland is 6'1". Strickland's work rate is nice, almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute, and Adesanya is about 4 significant strikes landed per minute. But ultimately, I look at this fight, and I look at Strickland, and I go, he's a combination puncher that goes forward.
Yes.
And I think everyone knows it.
The Nate Diaz shell of a defense that he has, one hand over the other hand, and just keeps moving forward.
Great comparison, Lousy. That's a nice one, man. Like, I think that is what it is. Like, Strickland is like a Nate Diaz, goes forward, throws some combinations, has that exactly
his defensive style,
same
the
style.
One hand over the other, one fist over the other.
And the problem is with that is ultimately he's going to do good against people who are a little bit guys who are maybe good in a few rounds, but then they gas out, or guys who are maybe their striking is not complete, but Adesanya is a complete striker. A guy who can kick, punch, elbow, knee, everything perfect, angles off, head movement slick, fast movement. He's got it all, literally.
Yep, he's
literally got it all.
He's one of the faces of the UFC right now, is Adesanya. And I don't think Sean Strickland's going to knock him off off the face.
No, because
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I think you have to have some type of attribute that can expose Adesanya. For Pereira, that he beat Adesanya.
He has pressure.
Yeah, he has pressure. That is an attribute that can. But the problem is with pressure, you need to have speed with the pressure. He doesn't have. Strickland, to be honest, is not the fastest guy.
Yeah,
he's slow. I'll say he's slow. What he has is just the guts to go forward.
Toughness.
Yes.
He has a concrete chin.
Yeah.
And he just keeps moving forward.
But if you look at, like, let's say the guy that beat Adesanya a few fights ago, Pereira is faster than Strickland. Pereira has non-telegraphed leg kicks that it's so hard to read when the kick is going to happen. So Adesanya was like, what's going on? So eventually Pereira, in the 4th or 5th round, he kicked Adesanya's leg to the point where Adesanya tried to kick him back, and then Pereira checked it with the knee, and then Adesanya's basically foot kind of almost broke or whatever, and then he rolled backwards, right? So that's the way that Pereira kind of worked, was that he kept kicking Adesanya's legs, and eventually Adesanya tried to kick back, and his leg was kind of worn from Pereira's leg kicks, and then he got screwed. So that was a weird way to lose, but that's kind of the way to beat Adesanya in the UFC and MMA is to do something.
We all saw what Pereira did to Strickland.
Yeah, and we saw what Pereira did to Strickland, so we're talking about levels to this, right?
Yeah.
Levels.
Well, we also saw what Izzy did in the second fight against Pereira.
Exactly. figured him out, realized that, hey, I'm going to have to go forward a little bit and not just back up the whole time.
Pressure
and
versus
counter.
pressure?
A little bit of pressure.
So KO is possible.
Yeah. And what I
You
like
think KO is realistic?
Listen, Adesanya in his last fight versus Pereira literally said about 2 weeks before the fight that he felt like he could pull out because his legs were I think his ankle or something was injured. He decided to take the fight, and look what he did. He played possum and counterpunch, knocked out Pereira, which is Pereira's amazing striker. Look what Pereira did at 205 as he moved up. He beat Blachowicz, who's a former champion a month ago. So look what Adesanya can do when he's injured. God damn. So we're talking about a guy where
exact method of victory.
Yeah,
KO.
man. Exactly. Like he's
Is that the bet?
Adesanya has gotten better. I think KO makes a lot of sense, and I think if it's a decent price,
both pressuring each other.
If Adesanya, if it's like minus 150 for KO, I will take that. Why? Because I believe Strickland is slow. Okay, if you're slow, if you're relatively fast. Right? Like, Cannonier is faster than Strickland, and Cannonier is not even fast.
That was a hell of a fight.
It was a hell of a fight. But look at Costa. Costa's not fast.
Costa's not fast.
And he got KO'd. I would say Strickland is just about as fast as Costa. Not that fast. They're both about, And so you look at Romero. Obviously, Romero has huge knockout power, which is why he decisioned him.
I don't think Vettori is fast either, though.
Whitaker got KO'd. Yeah,
Vettori's a wrestler.
Vettori's more of a wrestler, kind of a grappler type stuff going on. And, I'm not saying that Strickland definitely gets knocked out, but what I'm saying, though, is that if Strickland decides to pressure, which is highly likely, right? Adesanya is the best. Is he the best counterpuncher in history? It's Anderson Silva or him at this point. What he did.
It's not far off, bro.
It's either him or Anderson, right?
Well, it's Izzy fought
Anderson as he was a little bit older, but yeah. So you have to say it's Izzy or Adesanya who are the best counterpunchers in the UFC in the history.
Yeah,
I have to say. Look what they've done, and so what he did in his last knockout with Pereira was amazing. Strickland is slow. He's going to come in with a combination of punches. Adesanya is great at reading punches. The one weakness Adesanya had was reading the leg kicks. And Strickland doesn't throw leg kicks, man, that much.
Strickland doesn't throw leg kicks that much.
So if he's not throwing enough leg kicks, Adesanya is a goddamn, he's going to time you on the punches. It's only a matter of time before he lands something clean, in my opinion, with his slick head movement and then comes back with a counter. I think Adesanya by KO, if it's about minus 150 or if you're getting plus money.
If it's anything over.
Small bet on it.
If it's over minus 200, I'm not touching
No, I don't want it. Yeah, at that point, I'm just it's close, so. I'll get some decent money on that. If it's a good price, then maybe that. Other than that,
I don't know.
I'll throw Adesanya on the parlay just to add to it.
for the win, though. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, the puncher's always got a chance because UFC. You never know what these things.
Yeah.
And underdog might come through. Yeah. You never know how hard this guy's training.
Yeah.
You never know a mindset of people.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy might actually look past Strickland as this guy is nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to do anything to me. You never know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
If we're just going off of numbers and brass tacks here, I think Izzy steamrolls Sean Strickland.
I know Pereira landed a lot of leg kicks on Strickland.
Yeah.
And Izzy will land a lot of leg kicks, on Strickland. So it's either Adesanya by decision or KO, obviously. No submission here, but I'm just thinking that, Strickland does take chances. Strickland does come forward, and Strickland...
Pressure.
Yeah.
In your face.
Strickland...
he's
gotten better, too, though, since the Pereira fight, definitely. It is. You're right. It's hard to say. I think I'm just going to put Adesanya on the parlay.
Okay.
Just put him on there, because he's I can't see how he loses. He's too quick, too smart, head movement, counter-punching. It's too good. Leg kick. So, going with Adesanya, guys. Appreciate listening.
Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you.